Hey, Pouya, first of all, welcome to the show, Nail the Sale. And I really appreciate it that you hopped on. Can you please tell the world and us a little bit about yourself, your background, and totally, we want to know you.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. My name is Pouya. I was born in Iran and I moved to Canada when I was 15 years old. With lack of inner peace, addictions, chasing girls, drugs, parties, but these girls for a lot of years of my life until I died three times. Three times I went broke zero, moving back to my parents' house, built it back to six figure, went back to broke again and started over three times. Multiple times I came to the point of suicide, and through these breakdowns and breakthroughs, and I could tell you more and more. Girlfriend leave, girlfriend cheat on me, married my millionaire best friend. But through these breakdowns, I discovered certain principles of life. And through it, I've been able to find a measure of inner peace. And these are the principles I share with Gracious Seller, the coaching program that I'm a part of, that I've used to sell over $1 million in sales in the past 2 years alone, cash collected online. So that's why it's my joy to share these principles, because I know it's making money is one thing, but having inner peace is another thing. So I'm passionate about sharing my presence, my energy, to helping those of you who have a passion for personal development, want to sell more, and want to change the world.
That's
Back to you.
amazing. Thank you very much for this brief introduction. I'm sure this energy can do a lot more different things. And I remember many of you guys don't know, before even starting this podcast, we actually did meditation. I did meditation with this legend you are seeing right now on the other side of the screen, and that's amazing. That made me cool my mind down, calm and collected, and now we are talking on a very different level. About this energy, how do you build and maintain strong relationships with clients when you cannot meet them even one on one?
How do you maintain the energy? Can you clarify the question again? Like,
How do
is
you
it to do?
maintain this stronger relationship, right? Because most of your clients are online, right? Most of your clients are online. You are never going to meet them in person ever. Maybe never. How do you maintain that relationship with them so they actually pay you that high ticket?
Okay, so what I'm hearing you, just to clarify the question, are you asking how do I develop trust and connection so they become willing to pay me? Is that what you're asking? Or how do I maintain the relationship
How do you
so that I can
maintain that
serve
relationship?
them?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, in my program, are you talking about maintaining relationship with my coaching students or with people who are coming to me for like getting paid, like buying my services? Just trying to get clarity of what you mean by that.
I what I mean is, let's say I'm a very new person, right? And I just saw you online somewhere, or one of your team member reached out to me, right? How would you maintain the relationship from me as a cold person, right, to become that warm person who's actually following you, and
Oh,
who's actually totally into you and becoming your
gotcha.
client actually?
Okay, see, that helps so much better that I got clarity. Okay, so it's all about value, bro. All about value. It's all about connection and value, right? So I don't I don't try to maintain, I guess the strategy is to just live my life most honest and genuine and share it. So I have a mentor myself, and one of the things that I'm learning is to be very clear on my values in life and then live it and then share my transparent journey. Because the fact is, I still have struggles, I still have many things I'm learning, and I still stumble, but I am 10 steps ahead of somebody else, right? So if I can actually genuinely share my story online and live my values and share my vulnerabilities, those people who are meant to hear my message are going to connect and they're going to be inspired by me naturally. For example, one of my values is having a strong relationship with my partner, for example. And let's say in my social media, in my stories, I talk about, hey, I sucked at relationships. I know what it's like to have an argument with your girlfriend, get on a sales call and be stuck in your head because you don't know what she's gonna say coming home. And you're trying to pretend to smile on face and hey, how's it going? But inside you're burning from shame or anger or whatever because you
Yeah.
said something kind. So I shared that on my social media. Hey, I know what it's like to go through that. I remember when it happened, and here's what I do now. And so other people can feel me and they know my values. So then, like, hey, this guy speaks my language. I see him. He done this. And he's rushing it because I watch his progress. This guy is for sure. Because people, the biggest thing that hold people back from buying from us is guess what it is? Other than knowing that and making sure knowing that you know what you're talking about, your skill set is there. What holds people back from buying?
Yeah. Yeah. So are you asking me this question? What holds people?
Yeah, any guesses? What do you think that might be holding people back from actually like moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, either they don't trust you, either they don't believe you, or either they are not sure about themselves. Like confused mind never buys, right? If you have a confused mind, that means there you are lacking somewhere. Or even like the worst case scenario is your offer is very bad, they cannot buy, right? That's the worst case
Exactly.
scenario.
So you
But
nailed
if
it,
you're
bro. So you nailed it. So the number one reason people don't buy, if you have the skill set, is because they don't trust you,
yeah,
right? So trust is the number one, especially in the day of AI and all kinds of stuff, because it doesn't matter how good you are. If I don't trust you, I will never buy from you. So that's the key. So by sharing authentic journeys, sharing our vulnerabilities, being genuine, being real with people, telling them about our insecurities and telling them about our breakthroughs, we build trust, we build connection. And the other factor of it is knowing somebody's integrity, because it's so easy to say a few lines and get somebody's credit card, but are you gonna deliver the shit? Are you gonna when you make mistakes, are you willing to admit your faults? So I recently got offered from another guy who's able to lead gen and business, and he's really good at what he does. I know he's good at it. But guess what? I'm not gonna work with the dude because you know why? Because I've seen him get pissed off, get triggered, shut down, and he's always rushed and he's like, oh, I'm rushed. There's so much going on. It's like, man, I don't want to work with someone with hectic energy,
yeah.
right? So it's about also the energy that I'm bringing to my life. So when we show up in a peaceful way, grounded way, we build trust, and people who are meant to work with us are attracted to work with us.
That's amazing. And thank you very much for clarifying that. What I think is like clarity is the king, right? The other day you actually posted about clarity on your stories. That's what actually attracted me. I replied to you on your story and we started talking about it, right? And I would
Yes.
say, yeah, clarity is the king. Even if you are in sales and you are selling anything, right? You're selling anything. You never close the door, but you are clear about your product, right? If you're selling something and you're clear about what the intentions are, remember the start of our call? The intentions, the clarity,
Yes.
what exactly you are looking for. What exactly do you want? If you know, if you're clear about your own product, and the second thing, your prospect, your an upcoming client is clear about each and everything. If you're actually answering their problem and they're clear about it, that's the only way they can actually be your clients because they have a clarity. They know, okay, this person will actually help me. They have a clarity now. They're seeing it. They're seeing it so clearly that
Mm-hmm.
this is going to change my life, my situation. I'm here right now. I'm here, and this solution will bring me here only. That level of clarity is needed in every sales call, I would say as well. What do you think about clarity?
Yeah, I mean, clarity comes on many layers. First of all, us being clear of the value we bring, right? So like in my experience, like I'm helping consultants, entrepreneurs sell more. So being clear on the value we provide, being clear on the value transformation that we create for them, being clear of how we're going to deliver that value, being clear of what patterns they're going to come up with and how we're going to support them through it. And just being clear in our mission and our purpose. I was just doing the ikigai, the Japanese way of finding your purpose in life. And it's an ongoing process. So I started my self, my own offer 6 months ago, and I did it with a small group, and then I did it with another group, and then I did it with another group, and the more I do it, the more clear I'm getting. So the intro I gave you at the beginning of this call, heart-centered coaches, consultants want to sell and they want to change the world, came through these conversations that I had with so many people. Because if you don't want to change the world, I don't want to help you sell more, because we already have enough shit happening in the world. We don't want more rich people who are destroying the world. I don't want to help that. If you don't have something to sell, hey, I like you, you're a great guy, I just don't want to talk to you, because I'm here to help people sell more and redefine sales. Because people look at salespeople as some, sketchy bastards in a sense, whereas it's actually the highest form of service. People talk to us salespeople, they go deeper than they go with their own therapist. They go their own wife and husband. So sales is a very is an industry that we can revolutionize with this gracious energy. And of course, I only want to talk to people who are humble and willing, like you are, for example. You are willing and open and humble enough for you to open up and be willing to see things differently. So that's what I appreciate about you. So those are the three qualities I look for people. But that clarity came through conversations and through reflections, and also through having my own mastermind and mentors giving me clarity on my own blind spots. So those are some of the things that brings us more clarity. And when I show up clearly on the call, guess what? The other person is magnetized to me, because I used to be in the pickup girls game, and they would say in every pickup interaction, there is one person setting the status over the other person.
Oh,
right?
yes.
And that comes through clarity. If you're talking to someone and your eyes goes like this, then you lost it. You lost the offer. You lost it. Thank you. You're done. But when you're clear, you're coming from essence, you look at them like, I love to help you with this. I can help you sell more. It's going to be 5K. Are you ready? And don't move.
Don't move.
Don't move. Don't look anywhere else. You look this way, you're done. But that comes with practice, with clarity.
That comes with practice and clarity. And one more thing, I would say like deep conversation. And deep conversation that we are having right now is pretty amazing, because it's coming like we are getting questions from one thing, right? So I was on a call once, and it was a consulting offer I was actually selling, because I used to be I sell my whole life, right? I was selling a consulting offer, and that person came on the call with a very high energy. We were chit chatting, and I just asked him, "Why do you want to make $10,000 a month?" And he was like, "I want to make $10,000 because I want free time. I want more freedom." And I just asked, like, I asked him, like, "Why do you want a free time?" And that guy actually looked at me like this, and he was like, "Hey Newman, yeah, I want free time because I want to spend more time with my son. He's 10 years old now, and I'm always busy." I said, like, "I know you may find me stupid, but may I ask you, why do you want to spend more time with your son?" That's a stupid question, Pouya. That's a stupid question. But I asked him, and you know what? Guess what he told me? He told me, "Okay, my father was in military, and I spent my whole life without my father. I desperately want to learn this skill that you're offering, and I want to make $10,000 and stay around my son for the rest of his life. I missed the whole thing. My father was never there when I was in when I was winning the matches in football, right? When I was like doing winning those small achievements. When there was a parents-teacher meeting, my father was not there. I used to look other kids and their fathers, they were playing in the ground in the park somewhere, but I used to miss him a lot. Now see how deep we went just by asking these normal deep questions.
Yes,
That's
exactly. And I want to add to that, because it's also important where the question is coming from.
yeah.
So, for example, when you're asking that question, two people can ask the same question and try to go deep, but one person is going to make the sale, one person won't. The difference is where they're coming from. In other words, you can say, tell me more. Why do you want that? And why is that? If you're coming from genuinely caring about
Yes.
somebody else and wanting to make it world a better place, and you really deeply care, you ask from a different space than somebody who just want to use this as a strategy to get them to buy.
Yeah.
You see how subtle that is? So
Yeah.
I know, because you know your heart is in service, you know when someone gets clear on their why, they're willing to go for it and commit to it. And by me asking them that question, I just help them get clarity on why they need to do this. Instead of, man, I'm behind, I need to make some sales, the sales got ahead. So let me just tell me why. Ah, gotcha. You see? Different energy.
Yeah.
So the new earth that we're building, people's bullshit radar picks up that bullshit from 10 feet ahead. You can do it for some people, but most people who are becoming more sophisticated, they will pick that shit up from 5 feet ahead. So the only way to serve genuinely is to use what you said, go deep, and make sure your integrity is there, that you really want to serve people. Otherwise, you're gonna have a hard time in the upcoming world that you're creating.
Absolutely. Because I always say that to my coaching clients as well, that uh, a lot of people are using scripts and they know they have Jeremy Miner's 50 questions as well. They can ask, right, with the different tonalities. They can use the tricks and tactics. But when you're actually caring about your prospect and you really mean it that you do care, you're already different from thousands of other people. You are already different now, right?
Yes,
And they
exactly.
want you. They don't want that other salesperson who's actually
Mm,
trying to learn from somebody how to ask this question, when to ask this question, do this trick and this track, how to handle objections in the upfront in the first 5 minutes and stuff like that, right? But if you really care, they would sense it, they would smell it, right? They would sense it, like this
yeah.
person really want to ask me this question. He mean it, like that's exactly what I wanted to say. But I want to ask you one more thing. In your experience, what are some effective strategies or ways for managing time and staying productive in this online space? Because a lot of things are in the plate already, right? And we if we are just start engaging with stuff, you we can go like 4 hours in watching YouTube videos, right? We can go 30 minutes in just scrolling Instagram. And being productive, managing your time, and still staying and working even less. For I know you teach coaches, consultants too, right? And how would you? What do you advise them about
Mhm.
this?
Okay. Great question. So there are different ways that you can answer that question. You could talk about tools, you could talk about
Yeah.
strategies. But I like to go to the deeper level, because
Yes.
if you're trying to solve problem on a micro or on a external way, it works a little bit. Like you can get the filter and block Facebook, but the inner impulse that makes you go on Facebook is still there, you see?
Yeah.
So my first answer is we need to raise our consciousness to the level of inner peace. Because when we have that inner peace and clarity, we naturally don't go on social media. We don't spend hours watching videos we shouldn't, because we are so clear on what our purpose is to begin with. It is when we are lacking that inner peace and clarity that we try to overcompensate by dopamines, where we get by going to social media and liking and who liked my post and so on. And this applies to me just as much, because throughout the day we are bombarded by notifications and so on. And that's why before this call I just did a 2-minute pause with you. And this is a 2-minute miracle method that I teach in my coaching, and I had over 3,000 conversations. Many of them I paused for a few seconds before talking to them, and that is, we regain our attention back. So in the morning, the first part of the morning before everybody else wakes up, I like to connect to my highest consciousness. So we have a body, we have a mind, but on the higher level, we are a consciousness. So this is where our leverage is. The book Power of Now, the book New Earth, and many others like it talk about it, Untethered Soul. So we need to rise our consciousness to become aware of who we are beyond thoughts and conditioning of the body and mind. In that awareness, we are more at peace, we are more grounded, we have control. Having that inner peace, we can actually align our day. Having said that, one practical advice. Now, having said that on the big picture, I'm going to bring in more in a practical approach, and that is, we need to identify what are the 20% activities that actually brings us money and serves people the most, and focus only on those. And depending on who, if you're talking to salespeople and consultants, the number one thing to do is to learn sales in the morning, have a coach, have Newman or have me or have other people who you feel called to work with, and choose one person and commit to them. Don't jump around with a million different coaches. For me, it's one person commit to, and then learn their system. And the second thing is have a 15-20 minute conversation to another person who's selling the same offer. Warm up your mouth, and then just get on sales and just sell. Don't go on your WhatsApp, don't go on social media for the next 3-4 hours, just sell. Every hour, take your dog for a walk, reset, pray, meditate, then stop selling and go and have fun. Go to the beach, go have fun, connect to the energy, because you sell not just the product, you sell a spirit. People don't want your product. People want better life. People don't want to learn how to sell. People, they want to have passive income and to celebrate life. So you got to live it. So remembering that productivity comes through inner peace, set strategies and conditions in place that focuses you to sell more effectively, and rejuvenate and re-energize yourself, because your productivity crashes if you haven't taken a walk or meditated or ate well. So those are some of the things that come to mind.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And I would say, I don't have to say anything on that. I mean, there are a lot of other coaches, consultants, salespeople who are trying to make millions, right? And some of them are making it. In my initial years, initial months, I would say, when I transitioned to working in offices to remote sales, I did not made any money, right? And then there was a year I closed $1 million in sales in revenue, right? And I would say I remember I had a strong why. I knew that I have to take my family out from the crisis. I knew that I have to retire my dad. I knew that there are a lot of other things I want to do. I want to help my relatives, right? I want to help my younger brothers. Um, what do you think? Like, why people, everybody wants to make money online, but they don't know their real why, their inner why they really want to do it. How would they be able to learn what their real why is?
The real why comes to the real pain. Look at where have you suffered the most and what's your biggest wounds, because out of our wounds comes our gifts. So as I said in the beginning of this call, I'm passionate about helping people who love personal transformation, selling, and changing the world. And those are the things. As a child, I suffered by depression and by oppression and by lack of money and not feeling helpful. So that to me is a passion now to help others to raise their consciousness. So I would just really reflect on your why in terms of what pain you have been through, because there's nothing more joyful than to helping other people who struggle with the same pain that we were in and reduce the pain for them. So that's something. There is also other resources connecting to why there's the gene keys, human design. There's some intuitive mystical wisdom that is so different than the traditional wisdom we have, because our culture is raised to really focus on logical mind and intellect, whereas the logical and intellect is all programs of the past, but our intuitive mind, according to Einstein, is the real creative principle that we want to connect to. So I recommend Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, the book, and connecting to the pains that you've been in. Really reflect what are some of the things that you've really been in pain to, and when you look at the world, where do you think the world needs, and how do you think you can solve the problems in a practical way?
Absolutely. So I would say, I mean, that's pretty amazing conversation. And Pouya, you actually provide a lot of value. I would say everybody who's actually listening and they are stuck in their sales and they want to bring on more clients, even there are salespeople, coaches, consultants, affiliate marketers, they can always go to this person, and this guy is going to be a huge value to your life. And that's for sure. And thank you very much for joining